Alright. Welcome. Hold on. Let me take this off. There we go. Alright. Welcome to the After Hours Gaming League, round 5 of the regular season. Here in season 5 of the After Hours Gaming League for StarCraft 2. We're going to have a matchup here between Google Cardboard and AddThis. Both teams entering this round at the score of 1-3 for the season, and we'll be starting this best of 5 here with game 1 at 0-0 for each team. We're going to have a PVZ here on Deadwing LE with SPQR for AddThis spawning in the bottom left corner in the gold trunks, versus Maarfon playing for Google Cardboard, spawning in the upper left corner for Google Cardboard. He's sending his Overlord off, and quite conveniently he's sending it in the right direction, so he will have that scout ready to identify his opponent's build very early on. We'll see when the SPQR decides to send out that probe scout. He's sending a probe down and he's going straight past the ramp, so it's going to be a fast expand here. We'll see if he goes greedy and goes straight for the Nexus, or if he will play it safe and get that forge first. Sends his probe out, and he is also sending it in the correct direction, so we will find the Zerg immediately here. As far as spawns on this map, so less favorable spawns for the Zerg being in the vertical position. It is not a very far walk to the to this ramp of the Protoss' third base. So he has a little less time than if he had spawned over here to react to oncoming gateway attacks. And Stargate and likewise, but the gateway time is what's longest. Probe comes in here, and Maarfon is not going to go for that expansion. He's just going to drop the spawning pool, get it over with. SPQR does throw down that forge, will not take the greedy Nexus. So he will have time to get that cannon up at a decent hour. Continuing to just probe up in the main. No quick gases or anything. We'll just be saving up for this Nexus. Meantime, he sends his probe down to make sure this hatchery doesn't get taken. He will drop the pylon to block it, and he was moving up here rather early, so he may be intending the cannon here. Maarfon is going to take none of that pylon. He's going to just go take this base. And we'll see if... Yeah, he's rallying the probe around back, so he's going to cannon this. Spawning pool's done. He needs to make Zerglings. He needs to scout that this is coming. There's no Overlord in this position. SPQR is saving up close to 400 minerals. He's going to have the money for the Nexus, but he chooses to throw down a cannon here defensively instead. And I'll throw one up here. Take out the third base of the Zerg. We'll come here and see that this the pylon was canceled to the natural, so he will start that hatchery there. But 2 cannons going up at the third base, and there's no scouting here, so he's gonna. I think the cannon will finish first, so he will have opportunity to cancel. Fortunately enough for him. The Protoss also has not started his Nexus. He is committed quite a bit here. Yeah, the cannon does go up, so he will have the opportunity to cancel this. And he does. Protoss should cancel this second cannon, and he does the last second. Does save those 100 and change minerals. And he'll throw down that Nexus now. Slightly behind the Zerg player's natural. Sends the probe in again, and it looks like he's gonna try. He might try to cannon again. No 2 Lings out, but he's not checking the back, so Zerg, this hatchery may get cannoned. And the cannon's going to start very late. Zergling's going out, but they're not. Okay, they are scouting it. So hopefully they will get this denial here. He does see it. So yeah, he's going to deny the probe. He actually gets it caught against the minerals. Excellent grab. He will kill the pylon. 100 minerals lost there for the Protoss. Very good. Last minute save. We have Cake here, a guest from the Google Glass team, making some comments. Google Glass does tend to be a lot chattier during their games. Roach Warren, Evo Chamber, and Spore Crawler down. For Maarfon here. Spore Crawler, I guess, preemptively in the event of a potential Oracle. But the Cybernetics Core isn't even done yet, so that's quite premature. 2 Roaches out, 4 more on the way, +1 missile attacks on the way. Main nice and saturated here for our Zerg, but the natural leaves drones to be desired, or overlords are needed. It looks like he's going to do a +1 Roach timing here, which, with the Protoss going Stargate, if he goes Phoenix, this is going to go very poorly for him. Roaches here, looks like they'll just focus down this pylon, won't take any damage. Unwise whether he really wanted to reveal these Roaches, but he does. It is what it is. Economies, Zerg is actually very low on drones here. These delayed hatcheries cost him quite a bit in that drone production. And we see the Protoss is actually going for a Void Ray. A couple more gateways as well. Void Ray, unlike Oracle or Phoenix, is actually much more efficient at defending the front versus Roaches. He's actually going to have 3 cannons up here, so these Roaches are not going to do anything. Even if they get through these back rocks, with this many cannons, it is a very short retreat distance for the probes. It looks like he is going to go for these back rocks with these 8 Roaches amassed here. So he will bypass the cannons. Overcharge will not be ready, but Void Ray is already out. It's scouting these Roaches. It's not even going to let them get in. So a very fortunate rally point for that Void Ray. More spores going down in response. Layers starting. Even in supplies, but the Zerg is behind in economy. He needs to take a 3rd. He needs some more drones. He needs a response to this Void Ray. And then we'll see that may be Hydralisk, it may be Spire. For the moment, it's just going to have to be Queens and Spores to fend off this one lone Void Ray. Void Ray is actually going to deny the 3rd here. If he does reroute the Spore, he may be able to save it. But, yeah, it's too low. If he fires off the charge, he's going to take it down. The 2nd Void Ray coming in definitely will be enough to get this hatchery down. It's losing HP. He's going to have to cancel it. Before he does cancel it. No cancel. Loses the 300 minerals and the drone. Queen goes in. Distracts fire so the Spore can get rooted. He's going to lose the Queen, but he may get a Void Ray for his troubles. And he does almost. 1 hit away. Spore might get the 2nd Void Ray though. Void Ray does retreat. Takes a couple hits, but both Void Rays do get out. Just barely. Getting just the Queen for their troubles. And the Hydralisk Den is the choice for our Zerg player. Going down in the back here. With that layer finish. He's going to go reclaim his 3rd. And we'll see 10 more drones on the way. We'll strengthen up that economy. What is the Protoss player's transition? He's got a lot of Chrono banked up. He's got this forge, but no upgrades. Looks like he's going to clear these rocks and take himself a nice and tucked in 3rd. Wants to keep this wall up for defensive purposes. And, have a 2nd wall here. Overlord gets taken out the back. Supply block from the Zerg player. Zerg is actually very behind on economy and supply now. 30 drones to 42 probes. Starting those grooved spines. Right, that's the range upgrade for those Hydralisks. Those are getting taken out here. 3rd Nexus going down. 3rd hatchery almost done here for the Zerg. But he really needs to catch up in that economy. He's got a bunch of Roaches at home that he can't do anything with. Protoss is going for that Robo Bay. 2nd Forge. More Void Rays coming out. Observers as well in the event of that burrow. Void Ray is going to poke in here, but there's 2 spores and 3 queens, so he's not going to do anything. Second Void Ray going to poke at this hatchery, which is no longer defended by that spore, but there are 3 hydras here. The moment just leaving the Void Rays out. He is going to unify all of... He's bringing everything now. 3 Void Rays, 5 Zealots, and a lot of Stalkers. Looks like 11 of them. Does have a Spine and a Spore here. The Spore will help to zone out the Void Rays as well as the Hydralisks, but this doesn't look like enough army to handle what the Protoss is bringing home. More Hydras, Queens coming out, but this is going to be a tough defend here. He does have high ground, does get a few free Pytops off, picks off a couple Stalkers. Void Rays get the charge on them. There's not enough Hydras here to deal with it. Queens are going to get taken out. Spine's going to get taken out. Zealots do get sacrificed. They're engaging without the Stalker support. So good pick off there. Hydras need to focus the Void Rays. If he doesn't kill the Void Rays... Oh! Alright, Protoss backs out. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that decision. It was probably the safer one. He did lose 1 Void Ray, and he was en route to losing a second one. I think he could have won that engagement, especially if he hadn't sacrificed the Zealots up here. But he does go for that safe recall. It's going to fall back to the 3rd. And give the Zerg more time to catch up in those drones. More Spines, +2 missiles on the way. Muscular augments for that Hydra speed going as well. Zealots rallied here to poke for extra bases, but they don't find anything. 8 more drones on the way for the Zerg. It is starting to catch up in that economy, but he needs more. He's still behind on supply. Though definitely better, getting the better end of that engagement at his 3rd. Lings, drones adding on. Protoss finishing +1 attack. It's actually working on shields and armor, not going for the +2 attack after +1. Does he have 3 forges? He must have, right? Yeah, he has 3 of them. So he could start +2 attack here. Although, I don't think he has a... Alright, yeah, his Twilight Council is finishing now. And we'll start +2 when that finishes. Going for the triple ground upgrades. Does have Colossus out. Do they have... He did. No, wait. Did he get extended Thermal Lance? I don't think he did. Yeah, he just has Clifflock. I don't think he got Thermal Lances. Zealot and Ling and Skirmish up here. Ling will die. Overseer poking forward. We're going to get an eye on what the Protoss army is about. But these Voiders are going to move out to intercept it. They do not want to give him that information. They will charge up here and kill the Overseer immediately before I can see the unit count for the first opponent. Second Overseer is going down as well. Shouldn't throw these away. Typically you want to throw the Changelings instead, which are energy only and so effectively free. Hydra's moving out here. They're going to try to intercept these Void Rays. Void Rays are on the high edge though, so they're going to dodge the Hydras. They will go in here to 2 Spores and 2 Queens. I do think the Void Rays win this. They kind of, especially if they pick off from the side and only engage 1 Spore at a time. Meanwhile, Zerg is moving out with Roaches and Hydras. Roach count is very low. There is only 1 Colossus here, but there's plenty of ground units, so the Hydras are probably not enough. Void Rays poke up back here, and then they're going to go in. Going to go for a Queen first. They will get it. No Transfuse going off in time. Does save the other Void Ray. Second Queen does retreat to the safety of the Spore. Hydra's on the retreat to try to defend against these Void Rays. Will lose a gas, loses a couple drones, but he will defend this. And the Void Rays retreating. They go to the back here. Buys himself a lot of time with these 2 Voids. He's got freedom to have his army moving out on the map. He is going to go for this front here. Zerg needs to pull the Hydras away. He needs to go defend his front. His front's going to get rolled over if his army's not there. He's going to lose the 3rd. Down 40 supply. It's about to be a lot more. These Void Rays are worth their weight in gold. Army moves up here. They're going to vaporize the Hydras. Go after the Spines. Army does move back, but it's quite late. Plenty of energy here. Could throw down a Time Warp and still have energy for recall. Spines get... He has to evacuate the drones. Hydra's moving in, but Force Fields go down to deny the range. He will probably just pick off this hatchery and get out. He might lose the mothership core to the spore though. Just barely pulls it away from the spore. Hydras may focus it down before it can recall though, so we will have to just run from these Hydras. Which he does, using force fields to cover the retreat. All in all, loses a couple sentries, but gets the third. So Protoss is sitting in a very good position. He's taking a 4th base. He's got +2 armor on the way. Voidrays go in here and they're going to take out a queen. You retreat here. Hydras do run back, but Voidrays will just hang out in the back here. Again. Protoss taking his 3rd over here. Zerg, I'm sorry. But the Protoss may move in to take it. Overall, it's a very, very grim looking situation for our Zerg at this point in time. He's still leaving these Hydras in the back to protect from these Void Rays. But they're just going to recharge on shields and come back in. Zergling did scatter around the map a little bit. 3rd done, 4th going down again. But Protoss is moving out. He's got 3 Colossi, 2 more just finishing, 2 more gateways, 6 more zealots. And he pulls back. Not going to go in for the attack just yet. Just going to hold here at the watchtower. Can recall if he needs to. Zerg going Hive here at his natural expansion. Does have +2/+2 for his units versus the oh, he's going +3 armor. Still not getting these ground and shield upgrades despite having the forges and the resources for it. Zealots rally in here and the army's going to move in to back it up. He's going to pick off a bunch of these Hydras. The Hydras do, in fact, misrally to the army, so all the Hydras are going to get vaporized by these 5 Colossi. There's no Spire, there's no Swarm Hosts. Yeah, Maarfon has to call the GG for this one. Alright. Going into Game 2 between Google Cardboard and AddThis. It's going to be a TVT on Expedition Lost LE. This is the swing match here for Google Cardboard. It is, score is currently 0-1. AddThis took the first map versus Maarfon. We'll see which way the scales tip for this one. Both players unranked at the moment. I do not know yoloswag's current ranking. I do know that Durin was at least silver prior, possibly gold. We're going to have the 2 Terrans spawning here with Google, AddThis in the upper right corner, and Durin for Google Cardboard in the lower left corner. Expedition Lost. It is a 1v1 map. The distance to the opponent is it's not too far. It's kind of far. It's a medium-sized 1v1 map. You have a closer depot going down for Durin. He will not be walling off. So, quite hopefully, he does not get Hellion here in this match. Drop play on this map. So, there's not a lot of room on the left here. Banshees, Ravens, dropships can be picked off over here. If you do go through the back, you will have to go out this way, and there is quite a bit of room here in the back, so you can skirt out past the natural. But there's quite a lot of ground, quite close to the edge over here, so sneaking in drops on the left side is could be difficult. We do have a gas going down for Durin right after this barracks here. So he will be going for that Reaper play, most likely. yoloswag going gasless, so he's going to get a quick expansion, and we should see him go double gas afterwards. He will want to get that factory and starport in the event of a Banshee follow-up from his opponent, which is quite possible in a TVT. He's not even scouting, so he will have to play quite safe, unless he simply wishes to take a greedy risk here. Builds a second depot, but doesn't finish the wall, so this SCV is going to get in right just fine. Unsure whether that's intentional or not. He will scout, he'll see the lack of gases, and so knows he doesn't really have to worry about much. Starting his orbital. Terran opponent not yet starting his. He has plenty of minerals for a command center, which he should throw down soon. Durin is looking quite earnestly for this. He may actually get psyched out by this, seeing no command center and no gases. He may be expecting a bunch of proxy racks, something similar. Does actually go for the factory and not the Reaper. Building more Marines out of his barracks. SCV will run. Still no command center for yoloswag here, going up to 700 minerals for the 5-minute mark. He's going to throw down another barracks. Is he going to throw down a bunch more? I'm wondering what he plans to do with all these minerals. Second barracks, factory finishing. He's going to have enough gas for a starport. And given the second geyser, it is going to be a starport. Does throw down a tech lab on the factory. Yellowstar still floating 600 minerals. Just taking his geyser now. Marine is defending the front, but no CC. Tech lab on the barracks as well. For Durin. Durin ahead in workers, ahead in army, ahead in tech. CC does go down at last in base for yoloswag here. Starting a third barracks. Just one SCV on gas though. So he's not going to be doing anything very techy with these barracks just yet. Starport does go down for Durin. Starts a tank. Very wise decision against this very strange play from his opponent, which is most likely going to be Marine heavy, seeing how late it was that he took gases. Rallies a tank out. He's going to pressure with 3 Marines in a tank. That's you can probably muscle his way up here. Use the tank to tank the first few shots. So he might actually be able to do some damage, but with 6 Marines, that's looking less and less likely. More Marines rallying, another tank. See what he does with this starport. Stim on the way. Perhaps he'll siege and poke with the Marines. Does lose 1 Marine in the first poke. Quite dangerous here. Really, he's got not a lot of units. So he might just be trying to bait into siege fire, but if these Marines just run down, they can probably just kill the tank. Third tank on the way. Second... Oh, he made a Hellion. So he's going to poke forward with a Hellion, try to bait these Marines in the tank fighter, and he does. Gets all 3 for free. Just takes a little damage on the Marines and the Hellion. He may pick forward again. He might try to move this tank further forward. It's continuing to rally units out here. So he's going to poke again. Stim halfway done. No CC for him, though. So he actually does need to do some damage here, or the economy for yoloswag might start to get ahead. 3 tech labs going down on these barracks, so he's going to be cranking out those marauders, getting those bio upgrades. Durin is sitting here with the slightly smaller unit count. And he needs to do something. He needs to poke up that ramp again. Take some shots. He is starting the command center back at home. Did he rally out a medevac? He did. So he does have healing now. And Stim's about to finish. He may just be waiting for Stim back here. Yeah, he's going to use the medevac to spot the high ground. Taking pot shots on these Marines. Kills 2 of them. He should start to move forward here. Second tank going down. He is going to scan. Should stim these Marines. Doesn't have to. Just kills everything. He's going to go in here. Lots of free SCVs that he could pick off if he chose to. Second tank moving up. Leapfrogging with the other one. Going to take out all of these Marines here. Loses the Hellion. That's it. 2 medevacs. Stim Marines. The extremely late gases by the Terran for AddThis here are going to cost him this game. He doesn't have any tech to deal with this attack. He's going to lose SCVs. Terran is a gentleman and takes out his annoying monster. Lifts SCVs into the command center, but there's too many Marines here. So that's going to get focused down. Tank's taking out the SCVs. Command center does go down. Bunkers starting here. What do bunkers do against tanks? More units rallying. 63 supplied at 27. It's looking really bad for yoloswag here. 20 SCVs to 28. Single SCV levels. We have the PG in some form called out here. Barracks goes down. Widowmine's gonna get focused down. Doesn't even get to burrow. More Marines coming out, but 3 medevacs. Too much here. There's the GG. Alright, we are going into game 3 here between Google Cardboard and AddThis. The score is 1-1. We're going to be playing a TVP here on Catallena, Ladder Edition. We have, for AddThis, the Orange Protoss, 54, spawning in the northern position. And against him, from Google Cardboard, it is going to be torquestomp, the Blue Terran, spawning in the western position here on this very odd 3-player rotationally symmetric map. This map does favor drop play to an extent. This barrier between the natural and the third is quite favorable to drops. Between the natural and the main, it's not quite so favorable. There's a lot of, you can have a lot of control over this space right here. But if you take your third here, then drops between this third and the main can be extremely painful for the Protoss player. So we'll see if that happens. Proxying is quite difficult on this map. Not a whole lot of space in the natural. Not easily going to be hit. It's a fairly small ramp into the natural. So that can actually be defended quite easily as well. Let's see what builds both players choose to go. 12 racks going down for the turn, and he will be starting a 12 gas as well. So we will be going for that early Reaper. Fairly standard in almost every matchup that Terrans play. Most particularly versus Zerg. Probe going out after a 13 gate here for 54. It's going to be starting that assimilator. Gas finishing up just now for the Terran. No proxies, no super cheese here in this game. Probe coming in. It will get through this wall. Looks like there will not be a depot placed in time. Does check around. SCV goes out to scout. Reaper begins. Probe will sneak in to the base. Cybercore going down. Here in the back, we'll see this is very good building positioning against Reapers. Reapers love to run around the back of this mineral line. And, well, they can't do that if there's a bunch of buildings in the way. This gives probes the opportunity to get the Reaper instead. Probe here, leaving the base. Looks like it's gonna chase this SCV. SCV poking around. Scouting SCV finds this space to be empty, so the Reaper will continue on to this main, where he now knows the Protoss is located. Nexus going down for the Protoss, Reactor going down on this barracks for the Terran, and Command Center going down, so it is going to be a macro game. Reaper hooks in the main, gets a probe, gonna go after another one. Probe does retreat, Reaper chases, and he gets surrounded, tries to pull out, but not quick enough. Loses that Reaper for a single probe. Very unfortunate, everyone. Loses all that scouting info, loses all that pressure. Mothership Core is now free to run out. It does not have to stay home and defend against that Reaper. You can afford to start the Stalker quite late here. Does not need it, does not need to chrono it. SCV going out here for the Terran. Looks like he may be just going to check the natural since he hasn't actually scouted it yet. He did lose that Reaper. Command Center could be in trouble here. Mothership Core is moving off. Terran player is supply blocked. Marines are not coming out of this barracks. Mothership Core will beat a single Marine easily. It takes 3 Marines to challenge a Mothership Core. Going to attack this Command Center. Will it retarget the SCV? It does. Will the SCV finish the Command Center in time? 2 seconds of building left and it does get taken out. Marines need to hide in the back. 2 Marines cannot challenge a Mothership Core. Another SCV will go out, and it will get in the 2 seconds of building needed to finish this command. Let's just start the orbital willy-nilly. Mothership Core will target down another SCV. And it will actually misfires and targets the rocks temporarily. So 4 Marines will move out, and will push this Mothership Core away. Protoss player happily macroing back at home. Gets 2 more gateways. Warp gate about a minute from completion. Needs to rally these probes to minerals here. Didn't set the rally point on its natural expansion. There he goes. Needs to set a 3rd there as well. There he goes. Merges economy a little bit. Loses out on some minerals. Quite a bit of Marines here in the Terran player's base. 2 tech labs. 1 reactor. Factory and engineering bay. Going down. Starts stim and combat shield simultaneously, and he's going to move out with these Marines. Very difficult to damage Protoss at this stage of the game without medevacs, without stim. So he may just be trying to pressure here. Maybe force out an overcharge. +1 starting as well at that engineering bay. Supply blocked again. Terran player not really keeping up on top of his supply depots this game. Double assimilators going down the natural here for the Protoss fairly early. Does have a Robo Bay and Forge going down at the 8-minute mark. So he will be going for fairly quick upgrades. Stargard takes a Q Satchas, but it needs to run. Marines do force the overcharge, and they will retreat. I wonder if he could have done more damage there. There was only 1 Stalker up and 2 gateways. If he had chosen to go up the ramp, there was no sentry. I did not know there was no sentry, though. So a dicey moment there for the Protoss, but he gets out unscathed. Forge finished. Robobay about to finish. Clearing a supply block there with these double pylons. Combat shield just about to finish. Stimpack and +1 similarly close to finishing. Reactor finishes on the factory, and it's going to trade off with that Stargate. The factory does not build an add-on. It does get rallied out. The Terran Observer, as it were. Double medevacs on the way. Stimpack almost finished. Extended Thermal Lance, +1 armor, starting here for 54. It's building an Observer, no Colossi just yet. Getting 2 more gateways for a total of 5 on these 2 bases. Probes are misaligned at this gas, unfortunately. 4 and 2 instead of 3 and 3. Unfortunate for him. Terran army is moving out. Observer has a beat on it, though, so the Protoss should be able to orient himself quite well to defend any aggression that might come in. 2 sentries warp in here at the front. We'll need those force fields to keep the army out. More pylons, more gateways for a total of 7. Colossus on the way. +1 armor about to finish. No +1 weapons yet. We'll be prioritizing this defensive upgrade to deal with the Marines. 5 Stalkers move up here. Did see the medevac load up. So he will be in position to defend this. Looks like it's going to take the long way. We'll rally into the back here. Main army sits out here in front. Drop goes in. 5 Stalkers from the left, 2 from the right. Does focus the probes for a little bit. The medevac gets focused down immediately. But these units are dead. They might get a Stalker if they're lucky, but it doesn't look like it. Army rushes in the front here, going to pick off some Zealots, but the Colossi and Sentries will force that retreat. Gets a couple Zealots, forces some more Warpins. Well, not a particularly good trade here for the Terran player. +1 being chrono-boosted out now. Twilight Council for that +2 setup. Factory over here monitoring the 3rd base. 3rd base going up for the Terran player in base. +1 armor almost done. 2nd engineering bay armory going up to get ready for that +2/+2. Protoss moving out. May want to challenge his opponent. Probe, luckiest probe in the world, sneaks right past that army. Gonna check on the 3rd base right here. proxy pylon up over at this third. Nexus goes down. Factory did not. Missed opportunity there. Marauder will run over instead. And does cancel the pylon and get this probe. No, it's not. The probe will survive. Zealots and whatnot will run to the probe's rescue. They will kill the Marauder, and they will likely kill this factory as well. There are too many stoppers. Charinari moving out. He's going to claim his third. Same time the Protoss is claiming his. So this command center is finished, so he will start mining earlier than his opponent. Overall, economies relatively even. 40 SCVs to 51 probes. Very true. But Charon player will be on triple orbital during a moment. And those mules do make up quite a bit of difference. We see in the income, the players are actually even in income right now. Protoss slightly ahead. But again, we'll see these mules drop, and we will see the Terran income rise right back up to meet those Protoss numbers. There we go. Mules. Mules, mules, mules. Third Nexus finishes. Protoss camping here at the natural. Stalkers in the back. Blink just about to finish, so he will be relatively drop-proof in a moment. Terran player building those Vikings. Starting +2 attack, +2 armor, not on the way quite yet. Hallucinated Phoenix does scout. So many mules here on this third. It's doing quite a bit for the Terran player's economy. Templar Archives goes down. 2 more cannons. One in the back, one in the front here at this third base. We have +2 attack and +2 armor building here at these forges. Protoss will actually be slightly ahead in upgrades for a while here. Still not making use of this proxy pylon. Scan goes down on the main army. Sees all those Colossi and Zealots. Checks on the upgrades. More barracks going down. More starports going down here in the main. Still no +2 armor. Ghost Academy going down. Terran is getting ready for this late game combat. Both players at about 150 supply. We're going to see a clash here soon. That's gonna happen. 4 more gateways going down the main. 5 more gateways. Some more pylons. +3 ground weapons on the way. 2 tech labs and a reactor on these new barracks. Terran player about to go up to 8 racks of production. 3 starports and 1 reactor of production. Will be able to replenish his army fairly quickly if need be. He is moving out here. Observer following. 4 Vikings poking out over here. Observers do see that, and he's going to blink. He gets 2 of the Vikings for free. Stalkers retreat. Army stims moves in. Protoss moves to defend, but is he going to be quick enough to get this Nexus? He is not. He will not save the Nexus, but he corners the army. Zealots running in from both sides. 3 Colossi pushing in. Terran player running to the corner. He's going to load up. He's going to go for a drop. 1 Matavet gets sniped. The second one gets feedback, so 16 supply of units all destroyed. The rest of the army here decimated. Terran player takes a huge dip in supply. He does get the Nexus. He does get quite a bit of probes, but he loses his entire army. It's down to 60 army supply versus 100 for the Protoss here. Protoss economy has been stunted though. He is going to rebuild this Nexus, but he should counter, and yeah, he's moving out. The counter attack is nice, and the Terran knows he's building bunkers. He's building reactors on these starports. Actually, should probably start rallying out Vikings like crazy. Protoss is going to move into the third base here. Does want to attack on level ground instead of trying to attack up ground at this venture. Fairly wise decision. Marauders, more medevacs, +3, +2 on the way. Terran stims a Marauder, and he sees the counterattack he knows is coming. It's gonna be, is he gonna be able to hold against the Protoss army? Zealots running in. Vikings take out the Mothership Core. Mothership Core was misrallied, and the Zealots abandon the rest of the army. He abandoned his Zealots. The Bio is getting free kills on all of these Zealots. Vikings attacking from the side. All the Colossi are going down. Stalkers run up without support of the Colossi. All the rest of the army was spending attacking buildings. Took out a Ghost Academy, 3 barracks, and 3 add-ons. And the rest of the army dies. Does not engage with everything at once. Does throw down some good storms, cleaning up a lot of the Spire, a lot of the Marines. But the army continues to live. And do have another Warping of Zealots coming in. Archon as well. But the Bio is parked quite healthily here. More barracks going down. Terran player wanting to build up that production again. Stem, Marauders tank the Zealots. Zealots will get wiped out here. Ground upgrades for the Protoss player at +3, +2, but against all of these medevacs and this +2, +1 Bio, it's not enough. Had an opportunity to take it here, but he did not. He botched the engagement was heavily botched. And Terran player, yeah, he's going to rally straight back. Replenishing his SCVs. He's going to use these 4 barracks to continue to reinforce the push. Marauders, Marines, Vikings, medevacs, all coming out. Vikings leading the charge. Third base is up, but the Protoss is only at 50 probes, and he's only at 30 army supply versus 84. Throwing down a desperation 4th Nexus here, but that doesn't help. Throwing down a Dark Shrine as well. See where that is. Yeah, it's in the back here. But that's he's gonna lose the 3rd first. He's not gonna be able to save the 3rd. Trying to defend with Stalkers and an Archon here, but there's too much bio. The probes are gonna get shredded. Archon goes down. Vikings roaming around looking for something to kill, but there's nothing to kill. Nexus will go down. Stalkers trying to defend it. They're going to get taken out by all of these Marauders. More stems. So many medevacs here. 10 medevacs. This Bio is simply never going to die. 2 Colossi here, but there's 5 Vikings and no Stalkers to take care of them. 50 supply to 160. Terran players in the natural. Probes getting shredded. And I think that's it. 54 is going to have to grab the Gucci here, and he does. So Google Cardboard takes game 3, goes up 2-1 in this series. So game 4 here is going to be match point for Google Cardboard. We'll see if they can take it or if they will move on to an ace match. Stay tuned. All right. Match point. Google Cardboard versus AddThis here. Match point for Google Cardboard here in Game 4. Cardboard is up 2-1 over AddThis. We're going to have a PVT on Overgrowth, Ladder Edition, between the blue Protoss, DataPlusPlus, playing for Google Cardboard, and the orange Terran, HLLStar, playing for AddThis. Overgrowth LE PVT. So there is quite a bit of space both on the back, not quite as much on the left though. Going in for drops on the left could prove problematic. Yeah, I'm not sure what the PVT meta is on this map. I suspect we'll see fairly quick naturals from both players. The natural is fairly easily guarded with this medium-sized choke here in the front. Yeah. Drawing a blank on things to say here. DataPlusPlus has played quite a lot actually for Google Cardboard this season. A couple PvPs. Couple PvZs. I think he's done every matchup actually for his Protoss component of it. We have gas before barracks here, so we're gonna see some very quick tech out of HLLStar. 11 racks, 11 refinery, 11 racks, That is really quick. So if you're going to go for quick Banshee, you would get a 13 racks because you want the economy for it. But he's going 11 racks. So what I think we're going to see here is, well, this actually hinges on putting 3 SCVs in the geyser. So this may not actually be the case. But what we may see here actually is a second barracks and double Reaper production here for the Terran player. Does put those 3 SCVs on, does it quite a bit late though. So he's going to be able to afford this first Reaper, but he's not going to have the excess that you would have for a second Reaper. We do have some fisticuffs going on here, but the barracks does get finished and no SCVs die. Barracks is actually slightly misplaced, so this is not a full wall off. If there had been zealot pressure, that would be quite a problem. DataPlusPlus here getting the assimilator, the cyber core, at a fairly standard timing. Barracks finished, no orbital yet for HLLStar. He is starting a second barracks now, in full view of the probe. This Marine will scare away, but the probe will have seen that another building is going up. He's going to run around. He may actually be able to ninja this Marine enough in order to get a scout on what this building is if he had not clicked it before. More SCVs, no orbital yet for HLLStar, so his economy is really stunted here. He's already behind by 4 workers versus the Protoss, though with Chrono Boost, that's quite expected. We have Data chroning out a Stalker here. He is expecting a Reaper. Probe chilling in the mineral line of HLLStar. More Marines being produced. Over 200 gas accumulated. We'll see what Star here spends it on. Protoss is going to throw down that Nexus. He's going to be content with his chronoed out Stalker to defend against any potential pressure. And he's going to go for that Nexus. Mothership core on the way. Gateway, Warp Gate is half done. Second gateway going down. Reactor and Tech Lab and a factory going down. Still no orbital command. So it's going to be, there goes the orbital command. It's going to be some pretty heavy one-base pressure here from HLLStar. He may go tanks. He has quite a bit of gas. Might want to start a second refinery if he's going to commit to tanks or starport tech. If he is just getting this for Hellions or Widowmines, though, he will be fine on the one geyser. Second Stalker on the way. Warp Gate being croned up to hell, so he does want to have 2 Warp Gates ready, starting a 3rd gateway already. Follow-up will most likely be Robo, as our Protoss here is playing quite defensively. And yeah, almost perfectly timed Warp Gate, so Stalker finishes just as Warp Gate does. Supply block here for the Terran. He's trying to build a Marauder, but he can't. Marines are blocked. Needs to start a supply depot. Needs a supply depot. He's stuck at 27 over 27. If he wants to do pressure, he needs a supply depot. He's starting a tank, but he has no supply. He needs a supply depot. Needs a supply depot. There we go. So that's actually an extremely painful supply block here for HLLStar. That's going to stunt his build quite a lot. He does have this starport going, and he does have the second refinery. Is he going to make a medevac? What is he going to do with this starport? He needs to start a second supply depot, actually, because the tank, Marauder, and Marines are going to fill up his supply instantly. Yeah, I see he's already at 33 over 55. If he had 35. If he had started 2 more Marines, he would already be supply blocked again. So you're starting the depot. Finishing that tank. Starting Stim Pack. So this is going to be... He's going to get Stim for this one base all in. Double Forge going down here for Data. Has he started a Robo yet? He did. He did start a Robo in the back. Has he built an Observer? No Observer yet. He's going to want an Observer. Throws down the Robo Bay. He's going to go for those Colossi. Bio moves down, and HLLStar here is taking a command center here at the Natural. Which, granted, 23 SCVs to 41 probes definitely need that economy, but he's invested so heavily in tech already. He's built this starport, he hasn't built anything out of it. Gotta start some more supply depots here. No add-on on this starport. Does have a tank, 3 Marauders, and 7 Marines. So, he does have something. Hallucinated Phoenix getting around. He is going to see what's going on. Will dodge those Marines. Good, keeping control of that hallucinated Phoenix. Sees the tank, sees the stem. Barracks, starport production, producing that medevac. Healthy SCV count in the main, but overall HLLStar's economy is extremely stunted. Protoss is already up to 47 probes, oversaturated on this one gas here, unfortunately. Let's see if he notices that. +1/+1 on the way. Robo Bay is done, hasn't started anything with that though. Doesn't have quite enough gas to do anything with that yet. Command Center about to finish, Sim about to finish, Engineering Bay going down to start those upgrades, but he's going to be quite behind the Protoss here. Third Nexus going down for DataPlusPlus. 50 probes, 28 SCVs. His army count is actually a fair bit lower than his opponent's, but because he's got no medevacs yet, and actually he does, he has one medevac. But because the medevac count is low and this army, you know, has a factory tank base in it, just the one tank, and he's sitting back on his natural, he's quite safe. He's got the watchtower. If he needs to panic defense, he's actually starting a planetary here at the natural, so he's going to be very, very defensive. If the Protoss needs to panic defense, he can do it. He does have the forges for those cannons. Twilight Council, about to finish. Observer, extended thermal lances on the way. Twilight Council finishes, and he will start that +2/+2, crowns it immediately. Third, about to finish. Would like to see some observers or pylons around the map so that he's aware of any potential incoming drops. But the Terran player's economy is very stunted. He cannot survive in this game long term. He's actually keeping up in supply, building all these units, but no upgrades. Combat shield continuing now. This Terran economy has no longevity. He only has one orbital. He will be able to keep up the supply for a little while, but when this third base gets cranking, it's going to be extremely difficult for the Terran to keep up. Colossi are out. I think? No, I hallucinated. Colossi is only building. More gateways going down. Could go up to as many as 8 or 10 gateways here on those three bases. 62 probes, natural quite oversaturated. Main a little bit oversaturated. Should transfer some of those. Colossus moving out. +2/+2, almost done. Very few workers down here at the natural. Observer keeping an eye on that main ramp. Probes transferring over to the gases and the minerals. Still quite a lot of probes at this natural though. Defensive turret going down. Tank sieged. Multiple tanks sitting in here as well. Again, the Terran army count remains quite high. He's producing very well off of these barracks, but he has no upgrades besides what you research at the tech lab. Only 2 medevacs in the Viking. He's not moving out. What has he scouted this game? He's scouted very little. He scouted the main of his opponent early on, and that was it. So he's sitting back here in the dark while his Protoss opponent gets a runaway economy. 4 more gateways going down. Plenty more pylons. 2 Colossi are already out. 7 gateways going down in total. +3/+3 on the way. Templar archives. Protoss is at 127 supply. 71 probes. His army is still behind the Terrans, but again, with the very low Viking count, the immobility of tanks, and the high Marine count, he's going to get vaporized by the Colossus splash damage when the Protoss player does eventually choose to move out. Going up here on the 15-minute mark in this game, 4th getting taken by the Protoss. Should grab this watchtower to remain aware of its surroundings. Terran players still ahead in army. Matt going off those 2 bases, building those Marines, those Marauders, those Vikings. Still so few medevacs though. This army, again, a +1/+1 on the way. So we're starting to catch up, but it's gonna, when the clash does happen, it's gonna be +3/+3 Stalker Colossus Templar versus +1/+1 Bio Tank and he's going to get shredded. He is poking around here, going to try to take a third, but that is in range of the watchtower, so Protoss can move to challenge this. He's setting up proxy pylons all over the place, ready to move in from all angles. He's approaching max. He's got max pylon capacity at 172 supply. Storm is finishing, +3/+3 is finishing. The army is moving out. He's going to challenge this third, and it's going to be on the Terran to make something happen. His tanks are, he's got a tank set up, but it's here in the main. 2 more tanks sitting back unsieged. This command center is going to get cancelled. It's not going to survive. He's got 2 time warps available, full energy on that mothership core. Turrets starting, but they're not going to do anything against this army. Marauders, Marines, slaughtered immediately. He does cancel the turrets. He needs to cancel this CC if he wants the minerals. Does not get canceled, loses the 400 minerals. Army is going to try to move out and defend here, but he needs to be extremely careful. Stims forward, runs into 4 Colossi. Zealots tanking, out of range of the siege tank. The Zealots do get vaporized, but there's still 4 Colossi here. There's no Vikings left. Stalkers are protecting the Colossus. Terran drops down to 52 supply. He had the army, but he didn't have the upgrades. And tank is taken out. Fresh warping of Zealots. He should try to repair the planetary. Doesn't even get the repair on. Planetary dies. And this is it for the Terran. Storm goes down to catch the retreating SCVs. Plenty more storms remaining. Front getting torn apart by these stalkers and zealots and the Colossi. GG gets called.